Hey everyone, Isaiah here at SOPHOS Survival. I am here in the Harvest Right warehouse for an exclusive look at the new extra large freeze dryer. Stay with me. Okay guys, so Harvest Right was super awesome and let me come and do this exclusive video. The machine is not even out yet. Nobody has any of these, and these tube machines behind me are literally the prototypes, okay? So these are the first machines that were even created, and I get to look at them and show you guys exactly what you get with the machine. I'll get into the specs and everything in a minute, but these are the trays. Okay, this is the large tray. You guys all know how big the large tray actually is. This is the extra large tray. It's crazy, these things are huge. Okay, so before I get into like all the specs and everything, I'll show you the ins and outs of the machine in just a minute, but I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the benefits of freeze drying, okay? I'm a huge fan and advocate of storing the food that you actually eat, okay? There's a lot of reasons why you might need food storage, okay? It doesn't just have to be this big natural disaster or catastrophic event. You might just use this when times are hard, or you want to cycle your food storage. There might be reasons why you just don't want to cook. We do this all the time, okay? So I have a medium machine. I've had it for about 3 years now, and we have built up a huge pile of food storage for ourselves. And yes, it's the main reason is to have the long-term food storage in case of a major event where we need to survive and rely on this food storage long-term. But we use it all the time just in our daily lives, okay? We're outdoorsy people. I'm in the mountains and I do a lot of backpacking, camping, hunting, all that kind of stuff. And I use these meals regularly. Just last summer, I was out backpacking in the Uintas. I hiked Kings Peak with my son, Cooper, and we took a bunch of our own homemade, home freeze-dried food, and we used that as our backpacking meals. That was stuff that had just been sitting in the storage. We had elk stroganoff. We had chili, spaghetti. We had white chicken chili was one of my favorites. We took all these meals with us and we used them as our backpacking meals, and it was awesome. It was like sitting around the dinner table, but we're at the campfire. Like, it was really cool. I also use these meals for work. I mean, if I honestly don't want to make something for lunch, or if I don't have leftovers or something, I'll grab one of these backpacking, you know, these freeze-dried meals. I call them my backpacking meals. But I'll take one of those to work. I'll boil some water, pour it in the pouch, and then 10 minutes later, I've got my own homemade meal. They're great for other reasons too. Put them in your 72-hour kits. Put them in your truck. I keep several of them in my truck. There's a kit, a bag that I keep. I call it my get home bag. Today, for instance, I'm up here in Salt Lake City at the Harvest Right building, and I live in Spanish Fork, or Mapleton, Utah, which is about an hour south. What if something crazy happens and I-15, you know, the interstate's shut down, or it's clogged up, congested, and I cannot get home? If this big earthquake that's supposedly going to happen, it possibly might happen anytime. If that really happened, I might be walking home. I mean, just something like that. Like, I keep meals in my truck because you never know what's gonna happen. If I had to spend the night, if I got stranded somewhere and I need to spend the night in the mountain, if I, you know, am stranded somewhere and I need food, I've got it there. I keep a little stove, I keep water, I keep these meals. There's a lot of different scenarios, but anyway, you guys get my point. Some other stuff about freeze-dried food, it lasts a very, very long time. In my opinion, is probably the best way to store good quality food, okay? The machine, what it does, the way the system, you know, the way the machine actually works is it uses a process called sublimation. And basically what it does is it freezes the food. You put your food in here, by the way. You load up those trays, you push start. The machine is very simple to use. In fact, they have just simplified the programming to a point where you put your food in, you close the door, you close this drain valve, and you push start, and it literally does everything for you, okay? It freezes the food down to about -20 degrees. It turns on the vacuum pump, freezes it for a little while longer under vacuum pressure. It sucks the air out of that chamber, and then the heating elements turn on, and it slowly ramps the temperature of the food up, and it allows those moisture molecules to get sucked out of the food, basically, and it just dries and dries and dries until the sensor says, hey, it's done. It beeps at you, you come, you pull the food out, you package it, you put it in Mylar bags, you drop in an oxygen absorber, you seal it up, you label it, you throw it in your storage, okay? It's that easy. So the food lasts for a very long time, and it maintains almost all of its nutritional value. About 97% of the nutritional value stays in the food long term, okay? And you're lasting, I mean, your shelf life, you're anywhere from 20 to 25 to 30 years shelf life on most foods, okay? Now there's a lot of discussion on the shelf life of certain things. If it has fat, you know, a higher fat content, it might not last as long. You might get 5, 10, 15 years depending on what it is. But when properly packaged and properly freeze dried, you're looking at 20, 25, 30 year shelf life. It's pretty awesome. Okay, another thing is that it maintains its shape, its color. It doesn't shrivel down and shrink up like dehydrated food does. It just stays nice and poofy. It's like this styrofoam almost kind of a feel, okay? A lot of it can be eaten just as it is. You can rehydrate it, of course, but if all else fails and you don't have water, you can still eat this food as long as it was cooked prior. Freeze drying doesn't magically cook food, so if it was raw before, it's still gonna be raw when you rehydrate it, but anyway, you guys get the point. Okay, that's my little spiel on food storage. Costs, that's another topic. I don't know the exact numbers. I'm not going to get into it in this video, but basically when you get into a freeze dryer, there's an investment, there's a cost for sure, okay? But in general, you're looking at somewhere in the 1/3 cost to build up a 6-month or a 1-year food storage for your family when you do it this way. You have the initial investment of the machine itself, and then you buy food and you freeze dry that, but you can buy food a lot less. You can buy and make food for a lot less money than you can buy it commercially packaged and freeze dried, because you pay a premium to buy it like that, okay? The home freeze dry, it allows you to just do it the way you do. And the next topic, we get a lot of people coming into the store, into SOPHOS Survival, that say, hey, I have such and such and such allergies or food deterrents. I can't eat this, I can't eat that, my daughter can't eat this. What do you got for me? And I have to tell a lot of those people, man, I got nothing for you. There's, they just don't make, there's not stuff on the market that will cover all of those things. And so the benefit is, with the freeze dryer, you are already cooking the way that you and your family eat, okay? All you gotta do is you just make extra, and then you freeze dry it, and then you have the food that you are used to eating, okay? In an emergency scenario, there's a couple different thought processes here, but like I said, I'm a fan of storing the food I eat, because if I need to fall back on this food, or if I'm using it, like I said, for backpacking, whatever, I want to have the good quality, delicious food that I'm used to, and I don't want to have to choke down a bunch of, I should say garbage, but like just food that is like subpar. It's not what I want to be eating. A lot of the commercially made buckets and kits and things that you can buy, they're cheap. You might be able to buy them at Costco or Walmart. They don't have the calories, they don't have the quality carbohydrates and proteins and fats that you need. I said the F word. I can't use the word fat with freeze drying. Just kidding. You can have some limited amounts of fats with the freeze dryers, but those pre-made kits don't have the quality of calories that you can do with your own home freeze dryer. Okay. Protein, that's another, like, man, you can freeze dry chicken and beef and pork and elk and venison. I mean, there's just, you can store all these good quality proteins and do it for a lot less money. Okay, a can of beef right now is like $83 for a number 10 can, and I can do it for a fraction of that cost with the freeze dryer, and I can do a lot more of it in a hurry. Okay, all right, enough about the benefits. You guys know the benefits, but let's talk about the machine. All right, guys, I got my little cheat sheet here because I'm not good at memorizing all these little specs. I'm gonna cheat. With the machine, it is twice the capacity of the large machine. Okay, just for reference, check this out. I've got a small, medium, large, and the large is a big machine. Okay, you can do a ton of food with this thing, and then you've got the extra large. It is huge. It's awesome. The machine itself is bigger. It's not like, the machine is not twice as big, I would say, but the capacity is twice as big. You can do up to 5,000 pounds of food per year with this thing, guys. 5,000 pounds, that's crazy. Okay, the machine dimensions. You've got 24.3 inches wide. You've got 37.4 inches deep, and then 35.6 inches tall. And then the machine itself weighs 265 pounds. All right, that's the machine itself. On top of that, when you get it, it's gonna come on a pallet, and it's gonna weigh about, let's see, what is it, 370 pounds. So that includes all the packaging, the pallet, the machine, and then you've got your whole starter package. Which, by the way, this machine is gonna be set up the way that all the other Harvest Right machines come. You get this starter package, you get the vacuum pump, you get 50 Mylar bags and oxygen absorbers, you get oil for the vacuum pump, you get an oil filter, you get a heat sealer, and then, you know, of course, the machine and the trays, okay? And then all the manuals and everything that walks you through all that. Okay, so let me just take a look at this. So like I said, these machines, these are literally the prototypes. They don't even have any of these production machines ready yet. Nobody has them. And so you're getting a look at what the birth of the extra large freeze dryer. Okay, and what's kind of cool too is you guys get to see it with the panels off. By the way, being that this is a production, or sorry, not a production, it's a prototype, there's a couple of things on here that are not necessarily going to be the same as the production machines. Some of the circuitry and stuff, they're doing a lot of tests on these, so it will not look exactly the same, just to give you the heads up. But you can kind of look down in there and you can see the guts. This is how the machine is. It's this big insulated cylinder that there's a condenser under here. It freezes. There's coils around this cylinder inside this insulation, and basically it will freeze this whole chamber down to, you know, -20. Sometimes the machine will even get down to -40 degrees. Super, super cold. It'll turn on the vacuum pump, and then it'll suck the air out of this chamber and then turn on these heating elements. Underneath each of these trays, there's an orange heating pad, and it will heat these up. You know, the program will take it up and down, and basically there's a sensor in the back that it'll dry and dry and dry until the sensor says, all right, this food is done. Once it's done, you pull out the food, you package it up, and then you let it defrost, and then all of the moisture that builds up, the water will build up in a big block of ice in here, and then once the cycle is over, it will melt and it'll drain down that drain tube in the back. Okay. A couple things to note. It's the same basic design. You've got this big gasket around the door. The panel's the same. You come around here, this vacuum hose is gigantic. Check out the size of that thing, okay? It is gonna be a Premier vacuum pump. That's not the one that you're gonna get. That's a test pump. The one you're gonna get looks almost identical to the current Premier vacuum pump. The one that goes with the small, medium, large, the regular Premier pump is a 7 CFM pump. This one is gonna be a 10 CFM pump, okay? I don't know the answer as to whether that's gonna be compatible with the other machines or not yet, but I do know that it's not available for purchase independent of the extra large machine. It's kind of an exclusive, like, package deal. Oh, another thing to mention, you can see a white and a black machine here. These are prototypes. The first run, their initial order is black, okay? So white is not available in the extra large, just black for now. And then I've heard rumors, I'm not exactly sure when or if this is gonna happen or not, but basically they're gonna transition and move towards stainless steel and probably just do these in the stainless steel color, okay? Coming around the backside of these machines, you can kind of see what it's all about. That's pretty awesome. All right, I'm not gonna get into all the specifics of what everything is, but basically your motherboard, your main circuitry for your panel and stuff up here. You've got the power that comes back to plug in. There's a little plug back here that you plug in your tray rack. It'll plug into that, and then you've got your condenser and everything else down there. Your main power supply is gonna be in the back. This is, by the way, they designed this to be just like the large machine. It is a dedicated 20 amp, so it requires a dedicated 20 amp circuit. It's 110 volts, and then it has the NEMA 520 outlet. So same deal, same setup as the large machine. Okay guys, size comparison, check this out. I've got a small, medium, large, and an extra large tray, and you can just see how gigantic these extra large trays are. Okay, so exact numbers. The tray size is 10.9 inches wide, 29.5 inches deep or long, and 3/4 of an inch high. It's the same height as the other trays, but you just get so much more area. Like I said earlier in the video, you get about 5,000 pounds of food per year. That's if you run it constantly. You're looking at probably 30 to 35 pounds of food per batch, okay? All right, everybody, that is it. I just wanted to show you the extra large freeze dryer before it gets out there, okay? Harvest Right was nice enough to let me come up and just give me this exclusive look, so I'm really grateful to them for that. If you appreciated this video and if you liked it, do me a favor. I appreciate you subscribing, sharing this. Give me any comments you have, questions, feel free. You can comment here. You can always call our store. Go to our website, and all the information for the extra large freeze dryer as well as the others are on there. We can ship these anywhere in the United States, okay? We can just reach out to us. We can give you a shipping quote. We have a bunch of these extra large ones on order. You know, we're looking at a launch date of March 1st. So, from all indications, they should be ready. I know they've received them into the warehouse and they're just doing all the testing and everything, and we're expecting these to start going out March 1st. But if you're interested, you have questions or whatever, you want a price quote, you can go on the website and take a look at what we're selling, and we've got a really good deal on them right now for pre-order. But once these things are actually released, they're gonna get, the lead time is gonna get longer and longer. So if you want to get in on it right now, let me know. You can call our store, just go to the contact us page, sophossurvival.com, or you can call us 801-885-9318. You can email us at info@sophossurvival.com. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.